Welcome back. The map is going to be Daybreak. It is, of course, a selection from the Zerg player. And, Greg, we were just on the main stage where we saw a Protoss pick it. I mean, I feel like a broken record, but both sides
do like this map on occasion. Like I said, it is a stylistic thing. If you like to sit back and defend, if you like to play half-map games, then this is a great map for you, regardless of race. More often than not, in the current meta game, I think that would favor Zerg. But we do have some Protoss who like to just sit back and make mothership.
Morgan is desperate for camera, by the way. Like I've gotten tweeted a few times. They're like, who's that guy who keeps walking in front of the camera?
He's actually like the most important guy here. He's the one who's telling us all what to do. So I guess he kind of gets away with it.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. Like I don't know his Twitter or anything like that, but NASL, some of the improvements they've made has been hiring really key people. And Morgan is a producer from Hollywood. Does an amazing job.
He did a lot of work on the X Games and a bunch of other extreme sport kind of stuff. And he's now transitioning over, which is really cool for us. Because there's a lot of parallels in our community to the development of that community.
And the more those kind of come together, the bigger picture it becomes. I mean, Russ is the visionary, is the guy that started this frickin' thing way back in NASL Season 1. But, one of the ways you judge a good league or a good organization is the people that it surrounds itself with. And right now, that's exactly what NASL is doing. Is they're hiring really good people, and they're doing a good job. So it's pretty cool to come here and see it firsthand. But let's get inside the game. It is Daybreak, and player introductions lower left-hand side. I don't think he's teamless, but I don't actually know what team he's on. I want to say like CVG or something like that. It's Tubbythefat leading 1-0. Top right-hand side, the Zerg player. Again, I think he was on NMX or Nightmares, but I'm not sure what team he's on now or if he is on that team. It's Hendralisk.
Yep. And last game we saw a very, very aggressive all-in opening from Tubbythefat. And we saw the speedling opening from Hendralisk. That's kind of designed to hold off builds like that. You use the speedlings to control the probes and the pylons. Obviously, that didn't work out for him there. Yeah. So, he's going to need to have much more map awareness this game. That was what really let him down in that previous game.
I was about to say it was a second probe that came out for Tubbythefat, but honestly, it's a third. There's the scouting one, then there was an additional one, and then there was a third one that really threw Hendralisk for a loop, because the first two were pretty predictable. Like, obviously, sending out a scouting probe, that's what you do. Sending out a second one, okay, you want to be out on the map. But both of them got tracked down and murdered. That third one, however, was left unkempt. And when that happens, gateway timings become very powerful.
Yep. The third one's the unusual one. That's the one that you don't know is out there. You have to scout it, or you don't know that you need to look for it. And he just didn't scout it there.
Kind of an early pool, but not really. Hatchery block at the natural, and Hendralisk is not even trying for the third, I guess. Fearful from the potential cannon rush that's very strong in Daybreak, but not even trying for the third at the middle. He's just going to get prolonged indefinitely for now. I mean, this Nexus...
It was a Nexus first build from Tubby even. This is the worst possible situation you can be in as Zerg, especially on this map, Daybreak. He can just wall this off. The Zerglings would get here so late that he doesn't have a cannon, but he's actually he's actually going gateway pylon before cannon. This is about as greedy as you can possibly get.
And he's going to get away with it.
Yeah. And the hatchery just now going down for Hendralisk. The Nexus very nearly completed, only 30 seconds away. This is about as bad of an opening as you can get as Zerg.
And, I mean, Tubbythefat's got to be feeling really good because, to be quite honest, he got away with murder last game. No +1 attack, no second gas. I mean, those are the kind of builds that, like, a Nori does against a Zerg, and then Zergs complain about it for a couple of weeks. But here he is getting away with the opposite end of that spectrum where this is as great of a situation as you can get economically.
Yeah, the only thing he could have done more was just not probe scout at all and be completely just hoping that it wouldn't work.
TT1 style, he actually used to do that for a while, just Nexus first and not scout.
Well, you mentioned Nori. That's actually how he beat Stefano on this map at MLG Columbus this year. And Cybercore now already coming down. We also have the fast gas again from Hendralisk. Looks like he will be going for those speedlings. Putting down the third hatchery as well.
One gas from Protoss at this position is very weird. I can't believe I would see another 8-gate. He's chrono boosting up probes. He has nothing saved up.
Second gas custom,
There it is. Just weird place, I guess. And at a weird time, like you double gas at least after the gateway.
Yeah.
In the cannon.
It is just a weird build. But we saw last game he's definitely willing to do weird kind of out there builds. And that might be just messing with Hendralisk's mind, putting that gas down there at an odd time. Yeah. Like, it doesn't make sense to us. It's not going to make sense to him if he's paying attention to it.
He's in a position to show that he wants to take a super fast third. And when I say super fast, I mean like
that's ridiculously fast.
Or something.
He's off one Zealot and one Stalker. This is like the timing your brother takes his third Nexus.
Yeah. My brother, of course, Rocker, Team PvP. Love the guy.
He has 400 mils. He's going to put down a Nexus, I think.
You know what's hard about this? Like, it looks so weird. People look at this and they go, what?
Oh, he's going to scout it immediately with that Zerg.
Yeah. Oh, no, a probe.
Oh, wow. That's incredible.
Oh, my God.
He was just inches away from seeing that third Nexus.
Zerg has speed on the way. He's adding 3 gases right now as well as 3 drones. That says, I don't know what you're doing. And, I mean, this is the hard part about this. It looks so vulnerable, but to be honest, what happens from here is that if you're not just randomly coin flipping a 2-base timing from the Zerg or maybe a weird 3-base super fast timing, you can't react in time to this.
The funny thing is he has speedling, so if he knew it was there, he could make enough Zerglings to go in and probably force a cancel. That cannon will get up,
but
not
he doesn't
have any roaches.
Yeah,
it's now way too late. He has now secured himself, and this is just like the best possible economic opening you can have from Protoss. Tubby is in incredible position.
It's like he flipped the builds around too. Like this would be great on Entombed because you have a ramp that makes it even more powerful. And then innate gate on this map's not that uncommon. We see Huck do it all the time, but I digress.
A bunch of speedlings coming out. The cannon's already up with good SimCity. Very few Zerglings can actually attack this. Only the 1 Stalker there, though. 1 sentry up here, 1 gateway production. Everything's going to come down to how efficient this cannon can be.
I think it's going to be super efficient. I mean, let's see. Warp gates. There's still no warp gates. He is getting over here, but he only has 3 Zerglings attacking it at a time.
He can force field that cannon and just keep it alive for a long, long time. The pylon, though. The pylon's a good choice, but another force field actually holds on to that. Warp gate has now completed. As long as this pylon survives, he'll be okay. That's quite a few Zerglings, though. He might break this.
Oh, he stopped targeting the pylon. There it is.
Oh, there it goes. Just as the second cannon finishes. And this actually might be enough to break it. Yeah, there's no units back here. He was actually going Robo at the same time. This is kind of ridiculous.
You know what's really nice about this is... I mean, there's so much damage coming. The cannon's actually going to die before it can actually get powered, so the Nexus will go down.
He's going to lose all of the buildings up here. This is just such a massive blow. But Hendralisk is continuing to produce Zerglings behind. He's misrallying them, so they're not actually enjoying the fight. Had he been droning up, the game would have been absolutely over. As is, he doesn't have any economy himself, actually.
He's going to Infestation Pit behind it as well.
A really weird situation.
It's weird, but Zerg's so far ahead.
He is. That was just such a huge investment from Tubby. He does get his Zealots into position, but he will lose that forward cannon as well. He really needs to go up here and kill off all these buildings before he starts to get warp-ins from these gateways.
You know what's weird about this, too, is, like, here's the weird storyline. Who the hell goes speedling as a Zerg, as an opener? Like, it just doesn't happen that much anymore.
I can't believe Tubby's actually moving out with that army.
Oh, wow.
3 Zealots, a Sentry, and an Immortal against 20-plus speedlings. And a bad force field.
Uh-oh. Does he have a warp-in?
Oh, he does, just in time. Good save from Tubby there.
But I guess the point I was going to say is, in that game number 1, the Zerg shows speedling opening on a map that it doesn't really make sense to do that. So it's kind of weird that basically Tubbythefat was like, if you do that thing you did last game, you're going to be in a really good position to punish me for what I'm going to try to do.
And this map is much better for that thing than that other map was. Let's assume you don't do it.
I'm kind of confused. Spire goes down at the same time as Infestation Pit, as well as Pathogen Commands. What does that timing mean? Isn't that a little bit early, I feel?
Yeah. That...
it's before Hive.
I don't know. It's not the proper timing. It doesn't actually make any sense. He's afraid of Colossus or something. But if you're only going for Broodlord, you don't make the Spire until the Hive. Maybe he's going for some random weird Muta switch, I guess. It's just odd play.
Oh, man. That would actually really weird me out. It would be like a Halloween build or something like that.
A bunch of Zerglings running in. Not a complete wall in, but he does have another warp in. So this wall saves him once again. A couple of cannons up here. They will defend this third Nexus. His army is really out of position.
Best he can hope for is
might be able to force a cancel.
Yeah, it's the best he can hope for. The cannons.
He's going to lose all those Zerglings for it, though.
Which I think that's still a good trade.
It would be worth it.
Yeah.
It's getting really close. 1 force field. Yeah, he does save it. So all those Zerglings lost for nothing. Another force field traps the rest of them.
Tubby needs to simmer down. I mean, he's not dead yet. They both do, to be honest with you. I mean, Hendralisk is facing elimination. This would be the worst place to go out, I'm pretty sure.
Coming in.
Yeah.
And this is the only opening into Tubby's base, and he is now pretty much walling it off. That's not going to work again.
It's a gigantic wall off. My God. No hole in that wall.
No. There is actually no way into Tubby's base, so all those Zerglings from Hendralisk not going to do anything at all.
Literally, like...
Literally nothing.
Something's going to have to die before Tubby leaves his base. I would have liked... He's getting +1 air attack upgrade, and he's not on Hive. There's Mutas. What the hell?
Well, there are some Zerg players whose approach to ZVP is just get out Mutas and then base trade it until the game is over. And Hendralisk, maybe he's one of those players. Opening Speedling does kind of lean towards that. It sometimes prevents you from having to make roaches. And as a Muta player, you don't want to have to make roaches.
I mean, he has 5 Infestors out, and he's still adding Infestors while building Mutas, and now adding... He added a Roach Warren, by the way.
Yeah, that makes no sense whatsoever.
Hendralisk is trolling us as commentators right now. I can feel it.
If he actually goes in and casts a bunch of infested terrans there, oh god, what on earth is he doing? He's actually just blanketing this area of infested terrans. The army is responding from Tubby. That building wall is not going to die anytime soon, so that's just kind of using a bunch of mana to, I don't know, target down pylons and a couple of cannons. He might get a gateway killer or two here. He does unpower them.
Doesn't matter though. Like,
it's largely just buying time for those mutas, and we see a couple of cannons, so he is kind of prepared for that.
Is it, I mean, one of the things I would say is I guess it's misinformation. He's like, hey, look, I have infestors and zerglings. So the Protoss is like, well, I got to get Colossus out.
He killed the gateway.
Okay, you're right.
He did kill the gateway.
And 2 cannons.
Yeah, so that's pretty good.
Pretty good. But I think it's the information. I really do. I think he shows Ling Infestor because he hasn't shown the mutas yet, right? No, they're
observers have seen it. I don't know if he knows.
He's got like 6 mutas to show up here.
He's got 2 cannons there in his main.
Yeah,
he's really well prepared for this. And
still adding immortals, by the way. Don't like that.
Well, if you don't get up to a huge muta count, then a very immortal-heavy timing can be powerful against muta-based styles because you can't just overwhelm everything on the ground as long as you have enough stalkers and sentries to clean up the mutas. But you're right, Colossus is generally much better.
Well, he's got no bank is the problem I have.
Yeah.
I mean, look at his money. It's staying very low. He's getting charged, so he kind of knows what the Ling Infestor is.
He's also getting a Warp Prism with mutas out on the map. And Hendralisk actually does have reasonably good Overlord and scouting unit spread.
Yeah. He'll show up once again. A 3rd cannon's trying to join that main. There's a good blink, though. He's going to get a few mutas for his efforts.
At least 2 muta kills, and the rest well weakened. But he's not producing any more mutas. These were just to kind of mess with Tubby.
Oh, wow. These Zerglings are going to go
big
right through that wall.
Attack.
They don't care.
Yeah, they want to kill those gateways. Enough force fields there that they will be completely blocked out.
Cow.
In fact, he could even just save all the gateways with force field. But Hendralisk does retweet.
Do you see what I'm talking about with Hendralisk? So I love his plays. Already got a 4th saturated. He's got a 5th coming up. I mean, when I say I love his play, I love everything except that he went Ling Infestor Muta, which I think is so weird. I mean, it's working out really well here, by the way. But I think there's so much potential for it to get stomped, and I don't like that. But as it is, the Mutalisk are harassing the main. They're just going to retreat, probably just go ahead and spine crawl over the middle and fall back on a regular composition.
A bunch more mutas die off for Hendralisk. Those are pretty much completely nullified by now.
Yeah.
Tubby has to be looking to move out and take a 4th pretty soon. He's adding 4 more gateways and the Templar Archives, so he is teching up. However, we already have the high finish and Raider Spire on the way from Hendralisk. He also has taken the central base, which means he can start putting up a spine crawler wall.
And Tubby's been doing a pretty okay job of scouting. His observer in the middle of the map is showing him, oh, okay, there's a new base here. It's not really saturated. He's checked the main. He sees the hive morphing, and he's seen the spire. So he knows what's coming. I think his answer, if I could speak on his behalf, is it's looking to be like Storm. It's the Bling Army. It's Charge Lot, Archon, Immortal. I mean, the Archon's maybe later. And he's going to have a strong timing here because that Greater Spire is about 80%, but I think this attack hits just about the same time.
I'm almost positive he'll be able to take down that central base. The question is, can he take down the 3rd and 4th? Because if you get up to Broodlord and who hold on to the 3rd and 4th base, you're absolutely fine. You can just rebuild that and then reestablish that position. That hatchery is almost a throwaway at this point. You want the timing to kill that instead of killing more important things.
By the way, it's worth noting there's been double Forge Chrono Boost out pretty damn well. He's about to hit 3-3 upgrades, whereas the Zerg's on 1-1.
And 2-2 is not anywhere close to finishing. So this attack is just going to absolutely melt the Zerg, barring incredibly good fungals.
And that's exactly what he's going to do here. He's fungling on the ramp. He's making major connections with charge lots. Jump forward. Spinecrawler's getting targeted down. They're actually just now moving forward. The Protoss is surging forward. Broodlords are somewhere. Where are they? They're finishing. Okay, they're behind that middle base, but this is a huge concave of Protoss, but I think he's getting weathered down. Yeah,
he's definitely going to move through here. There's not a lot of Infestor mana left either, and he does have Blink, so he can't get in under the Broodlords.
Well, as I say that,
a lot of Broodlords.
He doesn't have support.
No.
Does he have enough
As soon as he blinks in, he can focus them down.
And those upgrades are going up against one attack Broodlords. Tubbythefat is somehow winning this fight. I didn't see it going this way, Greg. I really thought.
I saw him taking down that central base and having to retreat and set up, but no, he's actually just going in and destroying this. Hendralisk unfortunately wasted all of his support units before the Broodlords were actually able to join the battle. He needed to just sacrifices and pull back. Instead, he tried to save it, and that was a lost cause.
And he's lost all his spine crawlers. He's only got the one Broodlord. He's lost his Infestors, like you talked about. He has a few, but they have no energy. And this Protoss army is freaking ripped, by the way. He's got one shield with the second shield on the way. He didn't hit 3-3 armor. I mean, he's got 3 attack and 2 armor. But, man, this Zerg is just getting outclassed in the upgrade department right now, and that's hurting him so much.
Yeah, upgrades are so absolutely crucial for Zerg. But really, the biggest thing there was just the attack timing.
Yeah.
Tubby hit at the perfect timing with a really good composition against what Hendralisk had, but a really bad composition against Broodlords. And for some reason, Hendralisk decided to engage before his Broodlords were out. In fact, while they were morphing. Just kind of a panic thing. You see that army, you're like, okay, I want to engage that, I want to try and kill it. But really, had he just pulled back, it would have gone much, much better for him.
I mean, to your point, too, you kind of talked about Immortals. Like, I really thought they didn't belong in the army composition, but this is that army we saw Bling do at Home Story Cup.
They had a lot of DPS versus the Spine Crawlers. They can, well, if Infestors actually get in range of them, they get shot down immediately. And they're also just nice and tanky. They absorb a lot of damage.
Yep. We're going to have our final engagement here, potentially, as the Zerg does wash for. A lot of Banelings are up, but the Archons absorbing so much damage. Fungals do go down, but they're not coating enough of the Protoss.
And the Archons are just not dying. They absorb so many Banelings there.
And now we're starting to see the money Fungals, but if you look at that supply, the Protoss is up about 60 supply, and these upgrades are really shining through. I hate to beat a dead horse. Actually, I'd love to do that. And as we can see here, the energy of the Infestors getting washed out. There's the blink forward. Just no Zerg here. Just not enough.
Nope. And continually more units coming in. That War Prism has been reinforcing the army the entire time. Really, really nice from Tubbythefat. And we see nothing left. Hendralisk, he will be eliminated from the tournament with this, so he's holding on till his last unit. But it's a lost cause at this point.
There's the GG from WP. Tubbythefat wins 2-0 over Hendralisk. Both players showing that they are very capable of playing a different style of PvZ and ZVP respectively. But today it's Tubbythefat.
Completely opposite styles from Tubbythefat. They're the most aggressive build you can possibly do in the first game, and then pretty much the greediest build you can do in the second. The incredibly fast third Nexus and a Robo at the same time. In fact, so greedy that he lost the third Nexus and then still ended up ahead economically.
Yeah, I mean, and it was so funny, too, to see him so staunchly connected to those upgrades. Like, I didn't actually see the second Forge go down, but because he kind of hit that 2-2 then 3-2 timing, the Zerg player had invested so much in Infestors and Mutalisk, he was really kind of pinched for money. His upgrades were, I mean, even if it was a more normal game, his upgrades were bad. They just weren't up to par to a normal Protoss. But that's going to do it, and I don't know if that was the money match just yet. I think he might be in the top 10, but it could be he needs one more. You'll have to check out that Liquipedia article. We're going to go to a commercial, and when we come back, I think we'll have another match, but I'm not sure. We'll see you guys soon.